And welcome back to Long-Winded. Just kidding. Thanks for coming. We're back. Let's just get right into it, shall we? I was looking for jeans to put on. And then I quickly remembered this dog that I watch who I love dearly, but he did eat through two of my favorite jeans, ate the crotch because he's on some freaky shit. And I'm like, that's a pervert if I've ever seen one. They can't be fixed. I kept them hoping that they would be fixed. And then I showed them to Robbie and she was like, fuck no. And I was like, ugh, 2 pairs, not just one. I have to say, not that anyone loves hearing, behind the curtain, but who the fuck cares? I'm getting used to everything, but these solo episodes just kind of give you secondhand embarrassment a little bit because you're like, who the fuck are you talking to? You and you. Nobody else in the room. Who's going to laugh at your jokes? Who's even going to give you validation that you're funny? No one. So it's like secondhand embarrassment, but it's like from the ego. Like the ego is watching you being embarrassed for you. The id. Those are buzzwords. I learned them in psychology, but I do feel like that is what's happening. It's like when you trip and you don't know whether to laugh or cry because nobody's around. So you like keep yourself from crying because you're like, this would be so much more embarrassing if I cried, but there's literally nobody else there. But you're just like, I can't believe that my feet just failed me like this. Like you literally have one job. What was going on with the feet? The toes weren't looking alive. Like you just can't, you missed your step. Are we adults? Are we babies? Like drunk babies with no equilibrium. And then you fall and it hurts and it makes you want to cry. Mostly because your ego's hurt. But there's nobody else. So you're like, what is the big deal? But you still spiral for like 30 seconds. Anyways, we've all been there. I have some beefs today. The first, I'll start with Tesla. Okay, Nardo. He wants to sit. Come on. Nardo, come on. Oh my God. There's someone knocking at the door. It was the ingredients for Jello shots because I'm going to a bachelorette this weekend and it's in Palm Springs so I can drive. So my one job is to make 130 Jello shots and I do deliver. So the only thing standing in between me and the Jello shots and me in a thong bikini is this. So let's just get into it already. Please, lay down. Nardo. Okay, Tesla. It's like, are we still on that? I don't know if we are. Not to mention that I feel like it's a scam. Their stocks are decreasing, Google said. Who knows who Google is or who's writing on the Googles, but their stocks are down and their GDP is down, okay? But honestly, it's no surprise because I'm seeing more and more Teslas crumpled like Capri Suns on the highway. Just like, it's like, the aluminum in the Capri Sun. It's like, that's what your Tesla's made out of. And that's how easy it can go down. And I feel like, in the beginning they were hot and that's okay. It was something new. It was fresh. It was electric. All the songs were about it. Got my Bessie and my Tessie. So sick. Flexing on my ex and my Model X. Flexing on my ex and my Model A. Flexing on my ex. Okay, Janae can do no wrong. And it's like we can't judge them because that was of the times. You have to keep your judgments in line with what was going on at that time. And at that time, Tesla was the coolest thing. But now I feel like they're showing their true colors. I'll go out on a limb and say they're not even environmentally friendly. There's no way to just replace one part of the Tesla because the whole thing is a motherboard. So it's like you're looking for an alternator and you probably find one speck of a chip. What the fuck? How am I supposed to fix that and maintain the body of the car and the integrity of the car? It's like you can't just replace the whole motherboard, so you have to just get a new car. That's the antithesis of recycling. You can't even reuse it. If you have one, and I'm sure there's a lot of glitches, something running just on technology beyond the actual MOA, mechanism of action, is how do you turn this electricity into the wheels turning? I'm sure like somebody who works at SpaceX, a SpaceX employee, could explain it to me, but honestly, I'm not that interested and I don't have the time. I just want to complain about it. So please let me be. But it's not like you take your car in, it's the alternator. It's always the fucking alternator. You know what I mean? And there's no alternator to replace. So who knows? Hopefully they get sick ass rentals, but it's like you're gonna have to buy a new Tesla. Do they exchange them for free? That seems wasteful. And have you ever heard of cruise control? Like these cars are basically driving themselves. My car goes on and off cruise control. Just if I press the button, if I press the brakes, it's off cruise control. If I put it on, it's on. It's like it drives itself. It has sensors to going in between the lines. It has automatic braking. I myself have a Tesla, but I have a better crash rating because my car's made of real metal, not like literal foil drifting in the wind. And not to mention the Tesla trucks. Now those offend me, and I do take them personally. What are they thinking with the Tesla truck? That'll piss me right off. I saw one the other day in Hollywood when I was driving around. Like, sorry, I don't want to see that. It's kind of giving Hummer. It's like 2000s Hummer, which what the fuck were we even doing with Hummers in the first place? Those are literal war tanks. Who are you going to war with in Highland Avenue in Hollywood? Dancing with the Stars? Somebody's star sign? The actual sign like that. Not like, I know we're all thinking of astrology because the eclipse is coming and it's supposed to really fuck up all of our star signs. My friend who's like into some hippie shit, love her for it. Big shout out to Liz. She's like, we went out to dinner the other night and she was like, do you feel like you're underwater? And I'm like, always, but what's up, sis? Is it Mercury again? Because I'm sick of that bitch. She's always in retrograde. Let's do something for me for a second. But no, now it's the eclipse, which I don't honestly think explains like my mental state and my extreme fatigue. I think that's more on my medications and alcohol intake. But if we're going to blame it on the eclipse, here we are. But back to the Tesla truck, it's like they're not aesthetically pleasing. In fact, they're aesthetically displeasing and offensive. It doesn't look like anything I've ever seen on the road. So immediately I lose cognition of what is reality and what's not. That could be a little bit of a word salad, and I understand. But you know what? There's no one here to correct me, and that's on you. You have to listen to this, and it's free speech. So I get to say whatever the fuck I want. And I think the Tesla truck should be rid from the population. I think we should immediately stop production and we should get in the way however much we can because they're too ugly to see on the road. Like, if you're trying to make something so space-like, make it fly. I'm ready to see a flying car already. I was like, what are we going to see? What are we going to see in our lifetime? 5G, can't see it. Social media ruining everyone's life. Let's get a flying car, for fuck's sake. We're ready for it. But I guess not. And I feel like if something's going to look like the Tesla truck, one, it should have a bed. It should be able to transport a mattress to and fucking fro. And it can't, because there's no bed. It's just taking up space. I would go out on a limb and say there's not even a tow hitch. And based on the weight of the Tesla trucks, I know it can't tow what I'm looking to tow. I'm looking to tow an Airstream, an old one, an Airbus. Because I saw one unhinged in Echo Park the other day, taking up the whole intersection. And these hippies were literally running it into a pole, back and forth, back and forth. The Tesla truck should be able to manage that scenario on its own, and I don't think it can, because it's for looks. I said it. It's just good for its looks, and it doesn't even have a good look. And it's like the people who are into the Tesla trucks and are going into the Tesla office, the storefront on Melrose, and asking to test drive the truck. I ask you why. What is your motivation behind it? Do you want to stand out in a ridiculous way? If you want to stand out, do something with your personality. Do something new. I don't know. Get in therapy. Try treating your girl different, because I know the owner of that Tesla truck treats his girl like shit. So it's like, why don't we get a quirk? You just like lean into your body, do something weird with your hands, get a mannerism that people like to hold on to, that can really differentiate you from Joe Schmo. There's lots of things you can do before buying a Tesla truck. Not to mention, the Tesla charging stations are a breeding ground for crime. And I know this because my esthetician, who's a very reliable source, she talks to me the whole time I get a facial about lots of things she knows about. Her mother's AFib. I love her. I love to listen to all this. But I know what she's saying is a true account. Also, I get a microcurrent facial every month, and you guys have got to get on it. It's literally the best. Ever since I started doing it, people are like, oh, she has so much filler in her face. She blew up her face again. It's like, actually, I've never had filler from here to here. I've had some in my chin. Okay, I'll say it. And some in my lips. I've never had cheek filler. We have to stay away from the mid-face, because that's what actually makes you look older. So no, I haven't gotten filler. I just haven't gotten my buccal fat removed, if you really want to know. But I bet, and the craziest thing is, even when I had like the most filler, which was on Dancing with the Stars, because a lot of people were going to be seeing my side profile, my head was doing crazy shit. So I needed my jaw to look different. Nobody had anything to say. They thought I was snatched. So it's like, actually, a fuller face is more natural. It's in my genes. And I guarantee you, if I don't want a buccal fat removal. One time I went on a date with a girl who was like, don't get your buccal fat removed. I'm like, did I literally ask? I didn't ask. But if I did, people would be like, you look so good. You look so skinny. But it's like, that's plastic surgery. Stick to microcurrent. The science is very sound. The device was founded like to treat patients with Bell's palsy, which is when one side of the face is paralyzed. So this machine literally retrains your muscles, and then it gets muscle memory, so it just keeps you lifted. They actually make patients who want a facelift do it, so they train the muscles to get tighter, because if you facelift the face with just the skin, it'll sag. You have to have the muscles to be high and tight too. You don't even need it once a month, honestly, because my esthetician said that at my age, it's like if you just do it every so often, the muscles remember and respond faster. So really it's preventative. Anyways, she's a wealth of knowledge, as you can hear and see. She's like, you will not believe what's going on at the Tesla charging station parking lot at night in WeHo. And I was like, I can't. Tell me. Me thinking that is like techies driving the Tessies, like the Apple gurus, the ones at the Genius Bar. Psych! Psych! I don't know if they can afford it. But, people like that. But no, it's the bros and it's the show-offs. They're the ones using their 0 to 60 accelerator on a 2-lane highway in the middle of traffic, and they're wreaking havoc in the charging station parking lot. They have no shirts on, apparently. What? And 2 out of the 3 are men. What are the men doing without a shirt on? It's like, we're in public decency. Please be like the rest of the population and just put on a shirt. If you have to wear a shirt, I have to wear a shirt, okay? And nipples are highly sexualized still. Much to my dismay, why are we still doing this? It's like they're literally for nourishment, and they're feeding your bitch ass, you mama's boy. So please, but if I have to wear a shirt, so do you. Anyways, at the charging station, they're like getting in each other's faces, the 2 guys at midnight, keeping up the whole neighborhood, fighting about God knows what. Not the alternator, not the carburetor, not the muffler, because there's none of those things. Maybe like the joystick, maybe the fart noise that comes out of this. I will say that Elon Musk was onto something with like the fart noise in the seats. That's my favorite feature in the Tesla. I do think farts are never not funny. Anyways, maybe they were fighting about that, but they were getting in each other's face, causing a scene, scaring this poor woman next to them. So she's like, hey guys, can you keep it down? And they start getting in her face to the point where she was so scared, she closed and locked her Tesla and ran across the street. It's like, yeah, I would too at first. I was like, why didn't she get in the car? But it's like, maybe he probably would have broken the car. He was coming after her. And then she called 911. This is the debauchery that's happening at the highest level of tech that we've seen today. It's not a good look. And I'm onto them, and obviously other people are too. Their stocks are declining. Don't ask me about stocks. Everyone's like, it's like, what? I don't know. Put my money somewhere safe, not in a stock and not in an imaginary coin. Okay, yeah, I would say if you're interested in getting a Tesla, go for a better option called the Toyota. They're reliable, they're easy to service, and they'll literally drive until 400,000 plus miles. You know how many times that can take you around the country? Also, the charging stations for Teslas, like just as a thing, it's like they really thought they were onto something. They're like, don't worry, we can map out your road trip and plan your charging stations for you. I would literally drive my car into a median if on a road trip I had to stop for a half an hour to gas up. Wait, I'm doing road trips with minimal potty breaks. I'm wearing a diaper like that astronaut murderer. I'd rather piss on myself than stop for 30 minutes on a road trip. I'm trying to get in and get fucking out. Plus, I feel like it just kind of ruins the mood. Like, road trip is like windows down, hot Cheetos, a dirty ass car, in and out of AM FM radio. Not a self-driving aluminum can. Anyways, get yourself a Toyota. They are basically a Tesla, but better because you can repair them easily. I've had Toyotas all my life, all hand-me-downs. And you know what? I was never in a place where I was like, dang, I think this thing is going to break. Maybe I was, just because I was driving really old Toyotas. I had like maybe the first hybrid with first seats and a wood console. Loved that thing. My friends were so embarrassed of it. I was like, are you guys okay? Like, I got us tickets to the Nuggets game and we were going as like VIPs and they gave us a parking pass and they were like, are you gonna drive? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna drive. They're like, maybe don't drive. Sorry, but Toyotas are timeless and I love old SUVs. And like, you really can't argue with the first seats. But yeah, it's like the battery's dead, you recharge it at not an Ace Hardware. What is AutoZone? They'll put it on the charger for free. They'll diagnose it, troubleshoot it, give it back to you like fucking new. And it has all the gadgets that you want. You want the sensors? Toyota's got it. It'll keep you in the lane. You want automatic braking? Toyota's got it. It'll keep you from hitting the person in front. But if you would pay attention, if you get off your phone and not text and drive, you wouldn't need it, Gabby. I'm just kidding. It's only happened once. And like sometimes the sensors they're like a little faulty. Like if my car's super dirty, the sensors are freaking the fuck out. Like, this is obviously a safety hazard. But I turn it off anyway because I drive like an asshole. And by that, I mean I'm on the defense and the offense, and you have to in LA. If you're not playing hardball, you will not get anywhere in under 40 minutes. So I know all the tricks. I'm going to wait until the last second to merge and get onto Highway 134 because they start warning you 2 miles too soon. And then the traffic is backed up. But as you're sitting there for minutes, wanting to die, listening to the umpteenth hour of Girls Next Level, shout out, love that pod. Everyone's passing you and you're like, should I pass myself? And then you can just cut them off at the last second because one, there's always space. No one ever pays attention around here. They're like thinking about the Hailey Bieber smoothie at Erewhon. Or the new Goop Kitchen, which, no shade, I love Goop Kitchen. They have the best spring rolls, a great salad. You can like mix and match your own. It's like, how did Gwyneth get so good? She's honestly the original mother. But yeah, my trick for driving and cutting off at the last second is you just always have to wave to them and then make them think that it was their idea. If you shoot them a wave out the window, I mean, nobody waves in LA. It's so crazy. I come from a world where we're waving. In the Midwest, if you throw a wave in the rear view. Hello, thank you so much. I see you, I hear you, I am you. Thank you. Nobody does that in LA. And I let people in all the time because I know I respect the people who are doing what I'm doing, which is driving smarter, not harder. So like I always look back and there's no wave. I've taken the wave to a new level, which is cutting off and then shooting them the wave. Ultimate form of gaslighting. You make it think like it was their idea. 50% of the time it works. The other 50 you're getting honked at. But like, honestly, you're so desensitized to honking at this point that it's like, doesn't even matter. It's like, fuck yeah, I earned that honk, baby. Toot, toot. Who's in front? Who's in front? Who's going to make their 4 a.m. microcurrent, 4 p.m. microcurrent? Me. And you're going to be 30 minutes late. to wherever you're going. Nowhere fast, I'll tell you that. Nardo, sit. Lay down. Lay down. Also, it's like, does Elon Musk even drive a Tesla? Because I'm like, I bet your ass he doesn't. I bet it's all a scam. And I Googled it, and naturally it says he does, but he's paying Google, obviously, to say that, because that would be the ultimate betrayal. But let me tell you, I'm on to him. And Google says that he has a chauffeur in his Model Y or some shit. You can't even drive your own car. Isn't it for the driving experience, the Tesla? It's like you want to drive it because you want to feel the power beneath the ball of your foot. But he's giving all that power to someone else. And you know what? I call his bluff again, because the only time I get car sick is in the back of a Tesla. Taking an Uber to the airport, barfy, barfy. There's no way. If I get a Tesla, I'm like, what is going on? I don't know if it's because everything's see-through and my perceptions are all off, or what's going on, but nothing makes me more car sick than the back seat of a Tesla. I'll say it. So there's no way Elon is getting chauffeured around, getting car sick. What's he on then? Huh? Dramamine every day? What's he on, a scope patch? He has to put that shit behind his ear so he can make it from like day to day, A to B. I just don't think so. I was thinking about all the cars he'd maybe drive, and I'm like, maybe a Bentley. But like, I feel like he's just not a Bentley driver. So I don't know. No. Go lay down. Ugh. Nardo's acting so crazy. He's like, no. He's like a toddler when he gets tired. He like fights sleep, and he hates when I talk to myself because he feels like he's not getting any attention. I'm sick of it. And like, what's Elon Musk doing in Russia? Like consulting on these rockets and stuff, or torpedoes, or A-bombs, or whatever the fuck he's doing. Like when did he become the liaisons for weapons of mass destruction? Why is he in the government? Does he have a top secret security clearance? Like, I just don't think so, but he's BFFs with Putin. Yeah, I'm still on that. I don't know what's going on. Is Elon Musk Putin? Putin? Is he the body double? I don't know at this point. I feel like he can't be trusted, and he should not be meddling in the U.S. military. I think that you should have to serve in some sort of a branch. I'm coming from a military family, you guys. My dad did 20 years. Sounds like prison. My grandpa did 20. My sister did 6. My brother-in-law did some. My mom, I'm the only one. I won't do it. I think I've aged out at this point. Plus me in boot camp. No bra. Sargie. I forgot. I'm sorry. I do look, I don't know. Well, I do love a slick back bun, but I feel like we're going away from the clean girl into a messy. So it's like, can I wear a messy bun? At least now they allow the gays, but they're not going to like that. I'll tell you that much. But I just don't think Elon Musk has earned his keep enough to be dealing with these dealings. What's he trying to, what? Like, what's the technology behind this thing? I can only imagine. They're not going to go very far. They're going to malfunction. Like, I'm just warning you. I'll also tell you something else. The patriarchy is fully dead to me. Surprise, surprise. Never really alive to me in the first place, but today they're really dead. So dead. 6 feet under dead. buried alive. Ugh. There's been a rise of these male influencers on OnlyFans, which that's not the problem. I can understand. It's like, I want everybody to make money. I'm here for everyone to get their bag. He, she, they, no matter the chromosomes. I want everyone to make a huge living, as much money as they can. That's not the issue. Except, like, what are men doing always in female spaces? It's like, let the girlies have the OnlyFans, okay? Like, they're objectively better to look at. It's like the gay men invading the lesbian spaces. There literally can't be any lesbian bars because the men just take them over. Rude. So it's not the act of them being on OnlyFans. I understand they have to capitalize off their six-pack abs and whatever they have going on underneath. But it's like, okay, also some of these guys on OnlyFans get to be on TV. They're not completely tied to their body. They get to transcend their gender and the sexualization. They get to be many different things. They're on primetime TV and or using OnlyFans as a way to market, like a new show that they have coming out on a big streaming service. And it's like, yes, I understand this is probably a great marketing tool, but a girl could never. It's like, if even whatever, a girl with an OnlyFans or like a porn star or any kind of like sex worker, the only time they would be on TV is if the show was based around that. They can't transcend anything because we're stuck in the sexualized patriarchy. We're just under their fucking thumb. The men. And it's like, and you know what? I do take it personally, because it is a personal attack. It's like, I'd like to use an OnlyFans to market myself, but you know what people would say? You know what? We loved her on The Bachelor, but she's really taken a turn. What's happened to her? They already say that. So then they would really say it. And I just don't think it's fair. It's like the double standards are alive and well. The patriarchy is kicking and breathing. And it's like, when are we going to get our day? I did watch the Stormy Daniels documentary. I don't know where I was when the news like initially broke. I don't know if I was even on this planet, but I like missed the first wave of things. But obviously everybody was like calling her a slut whore, saying that she just like whatever, just really terrible things to her. Her motivations were bad. Like, she doesn't deserve it. She was just like very dehumanized. Like, in every article or every media outlet before her name, it would be porn star Stormy Daniels. So it's like, she's not known as a person by her name. She's known by porn star, which in itself is sexualized and dehumanizing, because it's like, you know, that by giving it like a name, it's taking away that she has morals or is a person, and just deducing her to like porn star. First of all, she's a full person. She has feelings just like you and I. So it's like, damn. I mean, but then it's like, after watching it, I'm like, I feel like now she is kind of using it for the money, but like, do you blame her? Like, I do believe her. I mean, fuck, she's down bad with all those lawyer fees, so obviously she would pop up. She needs to cash a check. And that's in her right, because it is her story. And like, she's not the only one. Fuck. She might just be the loudest one, but I did die when on camera they like talked about her little affair with the producer for like 2 days. I'm like, Stormy, you're messy, but also, like, why'd they have to air that? Like, take that shit to the grave. But their relationship was getting a little too close for comfort. So, whatever. What? Like Donald Trump didn't have an affair. He's affairing all over the place. Ugh. But it does, I feel like that and the Quiet on Set doc and all of these Diddy allegations are just like, damn, we've really done it. We've really done it. We've really fucked some kids up. We've taken it to a whole new level. It's like it makes you wonder what being sexualized at such an early age does to the brain. I Googled it, so I know. And it is from these like scientific articles, NCBI, NIH. This is like scientific data. It fucks your brain up, as you can imagine, because being sexualized undermines your confidence. It dehumanizes you. It's like the power play, like, oh, you're only good for your body. And in that you don't have the same morals and ethics of other people. You're kind of just like a robot animal. Excuse me? Not on my watch. Not around here, you don't. But I mean, obviously I've dealt with my fair share of like being sexualized, and I feel like I'm in the process of trying to reckon with it. I'm like back and forth. Do I want to be an object? Do I not? Do I like it? Do I not? Who am I doing? What is the male? What is the male gaze? It's like fuck. But anyways, I mean, I think the Quiet on Set, it was like so disturbing, but obviously the Amanda Bynes of it all, it's like, oh, she was so talented, so charismatic. I feel like the ultimate like first prototype of like the goofy girl, and she really had it all, and we just really fucked her up. The patriarchy, the society, the Dan Schneider. Well, she has a tattooed heart on her face. Every time I look at her in her story, I'm like, oh, we can get through this. We can laser it off. Laser tattoo removal will immediately take it off, and we can start from square one and build you back up. Like, I just feel like there's still hope for her. After seeing Lindsay Lohan, I feel like she made a full resurgence on the red carpet out of nowhere, like Ibiza never happened in the silver dress.
Honey, this is how you throw a party in Mykonos,
bitch. I'm like, we all saw it. We all knew, but she looks great. And it's like, it's probably a lot of therapy, probably some medication, but I am just like praying and hoping and on the edge of my seat for Amanda Bynes' comeback, not as a nail technician, but if like those are her hopes and dreams, like I'm going to support her. But yeah, I feel like it was just really eye-opening. And then like all the Diddy stuff and like being groomed, it's like no wonder Billie Eilish is showing up in oversized Dodger jackets and baggy jeans. Like she's sick of it. She's done. She's been groomed her whole life. Men trying to exploit her for her gain for men trying to exploit her for their gain when she was literally too young to know what the fuck was going on. Like, it's actually so sad. We, at 18, we can't be dating like 30-year-olds over. I know it's like a 12-year age difference, but your brain doesn't fully develop until you're 25. And I do think that means a lot. I know it's like age is just a number, but not when somebody, especially somebody you look up to, is like preying on you and talking you into things and deciding your career and benefiting off of you to where you feel like you have no power and no choice. Like, that's fucked up. That's not okay. So duh, she's going to do a 180. Duh, she's going to be mad at TikTokers at People's Choice. Like what? She's just mad at people in general and their choice and what they've done to her. Like fuck, but I do think TikTokers should be at people's choice. They are the people. They're the people's people. If anything, that is what people's choice should be. It's like we're consuming most of that content. Like we're gonna vote for them, unfortunately. So, but it's like I don't. It's not because of the TikTokers. It was poorly allocated anger. It should be directed towards all the groomers. But it's like it's devastating to know one, she's like a current pop star of our era being groomed. Was Beyonce groomed by Jay-Z? Mm, 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 mm. She was 18, he was 30, you tell me. Her new album slaps. I will say I've been down deep on the conspiracies, so I'm just like, I don't know, but it's so good. But you know, the Jolene of it all, not Dolly posting something like so PC, like like Beyonce, give Jolene hell. It's like Dolly icon. Literally, Dolly Parton is such an icon. Would love to talk to her, but she's like, she's like the original feminist, and she just had such a way of talking about it to where it wasn't so on the nose. I have to be on the nose. I don't have any other talent. I don't sing and I don't songwrite. So here we are. Surprise, surprise, I've been sexualized. Hello. Who hasn't? And I have trauma from it. I didn't know I did, but my therapist is on to me, and apparently I have shame surrounding sex. News to me. I just thought I liked to be thrown around like a rag doll. But no, apparently I like to be objectified, especially in the beginning of a relationship, because that's what I think that's the only thing I think I'm good for. I didn't do this to myself. You did. But I do feel like it's pretty common among women. It's like when I was having sex with men and stuff, like that's fuck. I didn't think I hated it. I didn't hate it. But it's like whose decision was it? If I was in a relationship, like in the dating phase, you just automatically think like, okay, this if we have sex, this is like end game, like this is just the goal. It's like what I'm supposed to do. These are expectations put on me that you can talk yourself that you're kind of in on, but I don't know how much of that is actually true. I think it's just a way to gaslight ourselves so we can make it out okay. So I thought I was in on the fun, but yeah, I think looking back, like, I was just kind of desperate for attention. And it's like, what kind of dudes was I trying to do it with? Like the ones taking me to a strip club on the second date? Like, did I think that was okay? I was like, I've never like outwardly tried to play the cool girl. Like I've always been myself, kind of like awkward, mannerized, with mannerisms, things I can't control. Like I've always been myself. I was like, yeah, I'll go to the strip club. Like what? I don't know. And then you have to like pretend like you're having fun. No shade against strip clubs. I feel like if you're with your girls and with your right people, they can be fun. But it's like, what are you doing taking a date there? And I have to like pretend like I'm in on it and I'm okay with it. It just like, I don't know. It just doesn't sit right. And these were the guys that I was dating fully. And then this same guy sent me a DM after The Bachelor and was like, oh my God, you're on The Bachelor. If I was The Bachelor, I'd pick you. I'm like, bitch, you didn't though. And thank God for that. But it's like other stuff too, like getting a massage. I can't just go to a man. I absolutely can't, because the one time I did, my rotator cuff was so fucked on Dancing with the Stars because Alan wanted to do some crazy shit where I was flipping around doing a cartwheel and like my shoulder got stuck. and time again. And I'm just such a yes girl that I was like, do it again, do it again. It's fine. My arm's literally on the floor, dislocated from my shoulder, hanging on by a limb. It's like a puppet, and I can control it from my other arm, like, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. But I had to like get some serious therapy for it because I was trying to win. We all know how that turned out. So I was like asking for Rex. Does anybody have a masseuse that can do a house call that you trust? Somebody gave me a rec and he's a dude. I'm like, oop. I hope he respects me. I hope his fingers don't really veer because I am afraid I only go to like women service people. My gynecologist is a woman, obviously, because what's a man doing down there, you big pervert? What do you know with your PhD and MD? Yeah, but what do you know? You don't have one. I'm just going to let you look in there for free, you sick animal, disgusting person. Whatever, I'm sure they're not all pervs. But I like to go to female masseuses, obviously, because I'm naked, and I like to be comfortable. I want to fully relax. So this guy's a man. He's coming to my house. I'm in desperate need. And he was like giving gay. And I was like, okay, maybe this will all be okay after all. Just in case, I did lay face down on the table, and underneath I had my phone dialed up 911, shut the screen off, so I knew it would be there if I needed it. I could just press one button if he tried some funny shit. I'm always one step ahead. You're not going to catch me off guard. Knock on wood, Jesus. I hope not anyways. But I had 911 dialed up. My favorite 911 joke is from Little Rascals. They were actually onto something and they're like, what's the number to 911? It's like literally. Because also we were wondering what the number to 911 was in London because we didn't trust the guy checking us into our B&B. It was like, what's the number to 911 here? It's like, I don't fucking know, 311 maybe. But whatever, he came, he set up, immediately starts doing some sketchy shit. He was like, oh, Robbie's calling. Hi, baby, can you hear me?
Hey, of course.
You're on the pod.
What do you mean?
I'm recording right now.
You're kidding. I just finished my show. I wanted to call to say goodnight.
Oh,
Is it a solo
baby.
act?
Yeah, it's just me. We've been working on our communication while Robbie's away. She owes me phone calls, and this is her nighttime check-in.
But how good have I been telling them?
I know, you've been so good. It's meant the world. We had that one bad day.
I had one bad day where I thought I misinterpreted you the night before that you were busy all day. And I wasn't even that busy that day. I was a little busy, but I was like, oh, okay. So I checked in less, but now I'm checking in more no matter what, because now I don't want to risk it.
I know. Thank you, baby. And all your boyfriends were so surprised that I was mad.
Yeah, I was with the fellas, and they were like, she's not about that. She's a jealous girl. I'm like, she's not jealous. She wants to check in. And I could get better at the check-in. I always feel like when I'm away, it just sucks so much, and there's nothing we can do when I get hopeless. But talking to you is better. There's no question.
No, literally. It's literally our one medium to feel connected.
How many sleeps is it now? For me, it's 3, but you're going away again, so it's 4 sleeps.
I know, I said
3?
the only thing standing in between me and these Jello shots is this literal pod.
Oh, my God. When do you have to make the Jello shots by?
I think I'm going to make them tonight and just get it
How do you
over
make
with.
a Jello shot? So you make Jello and then you put a shot in it? I've never made Jello shots or had one even.
Oh, baby, I got it. You have had one. We had some on 4th of July, but I'll save you some. But
We did?
yeah, is there any last words you'd like to say to me while you're on the pod?
Well, Is this counting as a real good night call, or do I call after the pod? Now I'm confused.
No, I'll call you after. But maybe just let him know how much you love me.
Babe, it's like, I can't even put it into words. I mean, somebody said to me today at the show, this guy, Mello, came up to me, his friend of Gab's, and he said, you know, that girl with the Susie hat wants to sleep with you. By the way,
What's a Susie
yeah,
hat?
he's like, don't, Susie, it's like a skate brand. Anyways,
Jeez.
cool type girl wants to sleep with me. I go, what? Well, I'm madly, deeply in love. And Gavin goes, it's true. And she's really hot.
Babe, who's this
Yeah,
girl?
back in. Well, I didn't want to go back in after. I don't want to see nobody who even wants to think of, like, first of all, how do you not know I'm dating the hottest girl on the planet right now? It's like, doesn't even make sense.
Babe.
I feel like we had a big splash. Like, people must know. This is the first time I feel like really good. I'm like, fellas, I'm off the market. Like, I feel like it's really clear.
Babe, yeah, literally. We're all over each other's
I find it
Instagram. I
insulting.
came on same. You find it insulting. What about me?
Somebody with a boyfriend or a girlfriend, it's like, are you deranged?
No, actually,
Like, are you?
no, that's so crazy, and I do take that personally, and I think you should X them from all of your next shows.
But it's like, you don't respect me. It's like,
Well, and Gavin should be sorry because this is his show.
No, it's our show, and Gavin right away jumped in. He's like, yeah, and she's really hot. You should be happy with Gav. We were all horrified. Adam was standing there just smoking a cigarette like,
No,
all
literally.
the fellas had me.
Oh,
Listen, they
baby.
died for you. You know Adam dies for you.
I know. I'm going to see if him and want to get dinner when I'm in New York.
Of course, they'd love to. I'm going to have Beyond FOMO, so please don't. Like, I don't even know what I'll do. I'm happy you like my friends. Isn't that exciting that we like friends?
I know, literally.
I know.
I was so stressed today. I was going to call Sophie up and see if she wanted to smoke a ciggy. But
She's always down.
I know.
You should. Sophie's fam. Like, it's a difference of fam. Like, Kathleen and Sophie are legitimate fam. Like, there's like, you could be in your worst, you could be in your pajamas, you could see them decked out. They just love you for you in every state that you are.
I know,
and they would
baby.
do a last minute smoke in a second.
I know. I'm so grateful. I feel better though. But okay, let me call you. I'm only going to record for a little longer. Okay, I'll call you soon, Z's. Okay, love you, baby. Okay, bye. And that was the light of my life, okay? It's like, no wonder why I'm in love. Who gets that kind of treatment? And it's like, I don't know, not even just being with another girl. Maybe that's it, but maybe it's Robbie. I think really special guys can make women feel like this too. It's like, she's never made me feel sexualized or just like an object, or I'm somehow less than because I don't wear a bra and because I wear tight clothing and maybe talk about promiscuous stuff. Like, instead, she thinks quite the opposite. And she gives me the most confidence. Like, I've never felt more beautiful than I have when I'm with her. And that could just be objectively wrong. Uglier? Or did I say I've never more attractive? Yeah. And I could be dead wrong. She's seen me at my worst. And she's like, you're so pretty. And I'm like, oh my God, this is literal heaven on earth. And this is what it feels like to kind of transcend your gender and find out that your worth isn't just put in your body, which is what sexualization does. But anyways, back to the masseuse real quick. I have a couple things to say and then I'll be done. But the masseuse was like massaging my scalp. Okay, wrong. Pulling my hair. I do like a hair pull, but not by a stranger and not by this strange man. Well, yeah, if it's consensual, this wasn't consensual, okay? And then he was like commenting on my body, was like, I could tell you've been dancing for a long time because of like your leg muscles, and oh my God, you're so tall, you should be a model. I'm like, okay, stupid, that's not gonna work on me. And then, which people do say this, like, oh, that's normal for a massage. He was literally massaging every single toe of mine. And mind you, I have a complex about my feet because they're so sweaty. They sweat all the fucking time. I have furry slippers from UGG that I can barely wear because my feet just sweat right through them. It's not something I'm proud of. One time on The Bachelorette, obviously you're shaking these guys' hands. You're like always under the light. You're always nervous. So I got Botox. Obviously I had Botox in my head and I got Botox in my hands for sweat. Really worked. Highly recommend. I got Botox in my armpits for sweat so I didn't stink. And I got Botox in the bottom of my feet because they said like, whatever, it'll help you with like standing in heels for a long time. Didn't help. That's a scam. But I had so much Botox in the places that I normally sweat. My body had no option but to reallocate all the sweat to my nipples. And I know this because I had to wear pasties 24 hours a day. They would not let me on set with one tiny bit of a nip showing. ABC would completely lose it. So, but my pasties would fall off because of all the sweat. Go Broncos. I'm drinking out of a Broncos cheer cup. Speaking of sexualization. But anyways, I have some horror stories about Botox. Let me tell you. We can save that for another day. Okay, I'm going to finish the masseuse story and then that's going to be it. So he did each one of my toe, commenting on my body, doing this, doing that. He was like kind of brushing up against my arm, and like I had felt him do that numerous times during the massage, and I'm like, I hope to fucking God that's not his dick. And then on the last time, he was like, oh, don't worry, this is just my arm. I'm like, well, shouldn't you be having these safety practices to make your patients feel comfortable the whole time? Like, it's like as a nurse and whatever, it's like, okay, you'll feel my hand here. You'll feel me touch here. This is like just common practices and procedures, especially if your business relies on word of mouth and you're a man in single women homes alone. Like, what the fuck? You think you'd have a better practice. Mind you, I didn't say anything afterwards. Anyways, and so the massage is done. And normally they're like, okay, get up slowly, drink a lot of water. I'm going to slowly turn on the lights. Take your time. Put your clothes back on. He's like, the massage is done, runs to the bathroom. Doesn't give me any instructions, doesn't turn on the light, doesn't tell me anything, just starts, because he had a boner. He had a big old boner. He had to have had a fucking boner. He had a hard on. And that is sexual harassment, actually. People are like, no, he didn't. I'm like, yeah, he did. Because why would he run to the bathroom like that afterwards? Anyways. And then Michael Buble sexualized me, okay? My cameras keep dying because I broke one taking it to London, broke a battery, and then this one I haven't charged. My poor video editor is literally going to kill me. But Michael Buble on my shit list when he was a guest judge on Dancing with the Stars, Val and I killed the rumba. I feel like it was one of our most underrated dances. Smashed it. He was the guest judge on, he saw the whole rehearsal because he was there practicing his like sing-along, song and dance, whatever cover he had. So he was watching the rehearsal, whatever. He was around like the trailers and stuff. And he like literally, the way he eye fucked me, first of all, with his eyes, undressed me with his eyes. No, sir, this is a professional environment. I'm here to get a perfect score. And he was like, good job out there. I'm like, you're telling me. You're literally telling me. Anyways, he had the audacity to give me a 9. It was like everyone else gave me a 10 and he gave me a 9. I could be wrong. Or they all gave me 9s. But he was giving other people 10s that like didn't deserve it. I'm like, you had the audacity to undress me with your eyes and then give me an, it's like beyond forgivable. So basically, okay, I'll end here. In response to sexualization, I do feel like we should be weaponizing our periods more. And by that, I mean we should scream it from the rooftops. We should ask for extra breaks. Nobody should be wondering what we're doing in the bathroom for so long. We should be able to bitch and complain and be crazy if we want, because it's literally anatomy. It's we didn't ask for this fate. It's how each and every one of you was born because a period came before you. So I feel like not only should we be given grace, we should use it as a weapon, not of mass destruction, but of a lot of destruction. It's like, why do I have to be worried to spread my legs in Pilates because I'm wearing gray leggings and I'm about to start my period? I can't always put in a tampon. We have to be more forgiving. It's like one time I was on The Bachelor. One time, obviously, like you guys don't know. And it was at the end. We were in Iceland. Emotions were high. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Where I was being gaslit by who, by what. I was probably doing a lot of it on my own, but we had like 12 hours of B-roll in and out of the frigid, windy weather. And we were about to go somewhere else, and like the car was waiting for us, and they're like, okay, Gabby, we have to go. And I had just got done doing B-roll, and I was like, I have to go to the bathroom. And they were like, ugh, can you wait? And I'm like, no. And I screamed, I'm on my period. And everybody around was a man, and they didn't have anything to say. Girls, you better be getting your hour-long lunch break and your full 15 minutes. And if they rush you out of the bathroom, if you're not on your break, you say it's because you're on your period. And we deserve that. What the patriarchy is putting us through, we should literally be getting a tax credit for tampons and being on our period. Because ultimately, it's a service to the dumbass dudes that we're giving power to. They can't do that shit on their own. Okay, take what you want from that. Take it or leave it. Take everything with a grain of salt. You guys know, above all, I am full of shit. And I'll see you next week on Long Winded.